Alex's colleagues reassure her that she isn't the only one experiencing this level of bad behaviour.
Normally you get 3 or 4 good kids, and the rest are disruptive. She thinks we're joking.
And we used to get kids here that regularly went to Oxford and Cambridge. We don't even have academic A-levels anymore.
This teacher explains that 2 neighbouring schools were closed down by inspectors because they were failing. This meant an influx of challenging children into John Smeaton.
When they closed down East Leeds, the kids there went to a place called Copperfield. They closed that, and then they set them here. And as they came in, parents took their children out. Because they didn't want the children to be effing and blinding it every 5 seconds.
You know, boys, can you both take your jackets off? They don't know why.
1 in 3 pupils at John Smeaton has a learning or behavioural problem, more than twice the national average. To help these pupils, the school gets extra funding.
OK. Do you know where the best is? Is it that way?
There's a behavioural and learning support unit on site, known as BEST.
Thanks.
Alex goes to visit it in her lunch hour.
How many of you are in here?
At the moment, there's 5.
Well, it seems to be like quite a lot of support for behaviour.
There is, but not enough for this school. I mean, really, we need a lot more work, but there's an educational psychologist. See him about once every 2 months. That's it.
I just thought with the best thing, there'd be loads of extra support. It sounded really good.
There isn't. Unfortunately.
Can you see a bit of movement?
In last year's GCSE exams, only 16% of pupils here got 5 A to C grades, compared to 81% at another school in the area.
It's just a tiny bit of movement.
With the current level of behavioural problems, this school was struggling to meet its targets.
We live and die on exam results nowadays. One child, if he's really Fruit Loop, can destroy a year group nearly. By just, in the different classes that he moves through, either mess up the teaching in that classroom or get other kids to follow his example, and it spreads like a rot. So if you were a head who wanted to keep it there, why would you take them?
The problem appears to be that the kids from the area surrounding the school are going to more academic schools further east. So instead of getting a truly comprehensive intake, they're getting the worst kids, and kids that academically are quite weak and have lots of emotional and behavioural difficulties.
Government policy is to give parents greater choice of schools. According to one educationalist, this has created unfair competition for more able pupils.
If there is a market, in a sense, it's in children themselves, and the school's trying to attract the most desirable children to come to their school, and the whole system is weighted against these children who have real problems, such that no school particularly wants to have them. Well, that's a terrible situation for our schools to be in, and so of course we end up with these schools, these sink schools, if you like, where there are high concentrations of very difficult children and not the resources to really address that problem.
We asked John Smeaton High School for a response. They replied,
John Smeaton High School has a strong inclusion policy and has developed effective working practices to address the needs of low-achieving young people and students with special educational needs. There are strong behavioural policies and procedures in place. The atmosphere is usually calm. The school has an exceptionally dedicated and skilled staff, with an increasing number of students achieving and exceeding the expectations that others have of them.
According to Ofsted, an estimated 1 in 10 schools in England has a serious problem with pupil discipline. At Alex's next school, they were struggling to maintain order, let alone teach. For 6 months, Alex Dolan worked undercover as a supply teacher in 16 state schools. In London, she was sent by her teaching agency to a school in the most improved local authority area in the country for exam results. Highbury Grove School in Islington was last inspected in 2002. It was described as an improving and effective school.
Can you take your little hooded top off? Okay. Right,
sheet of A4 paper. Listen carefully to what you've got to do.
Alex's very first class starts with a punch-up.
No, boys, that is enough. That is enough. Stop it now.
Fighting between pupils in class and in the corridors turns out to be a daily occurrence over the next 3 weeks.
No, boys. Let go of him. Boys, can we have coats and hats and things off and get settled? We're just waiting.
Often classes can't start for 15 minutes or more due to constant interruptions. Pupils with coats and hats on. Pupils coming in late. Pupils talking.
Mobile phone off, please. Boys, come on, mobiles away.
In every lesson, Alex has to contend with pupils texting, playing music on mobile phones, or trying to leave early.
Please can you stay in the lesson, because it's each time you leave class you're missing out on education.
What education? Everyone's...
Boys! Stop that now!
Some would be verbally abusive.
Okay, you're going to have to go out then.
So what, man?
You cannot tell a teacher
To fuck off, yeah, I did.
In this school, discipline appears to have broken down. Even if pupils are aware of the rules, there seems to be little respect for them.
No, right, I'm in 10 years, go on.
Because some people take advantage of teachers if they know they ain't going to do anything. If they're like...
But then doesn't that make it difficult for people that are really trying to work hard and learn? Yeah.
Like some people in my classes, like one of my teachers says they bring down everyone's grades for their behaviour.
Before going undercover, Alex took extra training in managing bad behaviour in the classroom. Even so, in most classes, she had difficulty maintaining discipline. According to a senior teacher, other teachers were struggling too.
I'm definitely coming across challenging behaviour. That is normal, isn't it? It's not just me.
No, it's normal, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex offers to help this teacher in one of her free periods. It's one of his more difficult classes, a group of 15 and 16-year-old girls doing GCSE science.
Excuse me, hold on a minute. Excuse me a minute. Can you just stay there for a second? Where you been?
I went to the toilet, sir.
Fine. It's now nearly 25 past. Excuse me a minute. It's now... I've got a witness here. Another teacher. Excuse me a minute. Now it's 25 past. This lesson should have started 15, nearly 17 minutes ago.
You said now, well, you shut up now, please.
Fine, I've called you low, you go somewhere else, both of you. No. Then you can throw the bags at one another elsewhere.
You can't do that, yeah, you're like that.
She's going to get in trouble.
Now, I want this work done. Mrs. Kindly, come in, give you some time to help you. You don't want to do that? Fine, we'll get rid of you from the group.
Right, girls, concentrate.
The senior teacher has pressed the alert button on his electronic register to get assistance to remove the girls from his class.
Okay, if you imagine...
But no one comes.
Now, what do you think would happen?
Finally, the girls get round to doing some work.
10 minutes out of an hour. 10 minutes out of an hour.
Please, I'll dance something.